Alright, we're testing to see if just like if this works at all, and if the audio works, and if everything seems fine on this end. So we're just going to test Slay the Princess, the Pristine Cut. If it works, then I will see about making a proper intro to this. But right now, it's been a whole mess trying to get
You're
this
on
to
a
work.
path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Alright. It seems like the audio here and the video seems to be working, so we're just... I guess we're going to do exactly one route, and I will upload that as its own thing, and then we will do a whole playthrough following on from this point. Hello everyone, my name is Pawncrosser. I'm very new to this, so I'm very sorry if this all comes off as a little ramshackle, because it is. This is Slay the Princess. It's a narrative game that came out 2023, very well regarded. Got a it got an addition added in the Pristine Cut. A few more routes to the game. It's a visual novel, and it's about slaying a princess. We'll see.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The end of the world?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence at all to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
I mean, there's a lot of dialogue options that we can go through, and like, if I wanted to hold up your time, I could go through every single one of them. If I was playing on my own time, I would go through every single one of these, just because I like being thorough about this kind of stuff. But in terms of just, having a sense of pacing, we're not going to get much out of this narrator. You can already see that he's being kind of evasive, or just very non-committal about this whole thing, except that he really wants us to go to this cabin. So, fine. Look, I'll go to the cabin, and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Isn't this game just like, it's monochrome, but it's so beautiful to look at. And like just the like shifting, like it looks like drawings on a piece of paper, and they're shifting, and I don't know, it's just the aesthetic of the whole thing looks really nice.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
See? This is the first little indication of who we are. We, as the player character, are neither the narrator, nor are we the voice of the hero that we just heard, saying, are we going to go through with this? We are a third thing, and that becomes important. Proceed. Oh no. Why is this lagging so much?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
And if you're wondering why it's called the Pristine Cut, it's because this dagger is called the Pristine Blade. Cut, dagger, blade, slicing, haha, very good. Anyway, I don't really want to pick up the dagger, because murdering someone in cold blood after just being told that they're a murderer, or that they're going to end the world, seems unlikely, so I'm going to enter the basement without picking it up.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Yeah, not that you're biased or anything.
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Also, if you recognize the narrator's voice, or the voice of the hero, or really any of the male voices that you hear, that is Johnny Sims. He was the main creator and voiced several characters in the Magnus Archives, which is a horror-themed podcast, cosmic horror-themed podcast where, well, you should just listen to the Magnus Archives. They're available on Spotify and basically anywhere you can get podcasts. You can listen to them all completely for free. It's very well done. And Johnny Sims is just a really good voice actor. So, yeah, you should definitely check it out. I love the options here. Hi!
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Hold on. Let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
Oh. I don't know what is taking it so long sometimes to advance the scene. What's your name?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
Princess, I would doubt. Is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
Oh dear. Are you being evasive?
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Maybe she has amnesia. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you've been locked up down here for a reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
If I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. that's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
It's just getting weirder and more questions keep piling. I was sent here to slay you. You're apparently supposed to end the world. But I don't actually think you're dangerous.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
Well, if she can destroy the world, if she's let out of the basement, right? Then, I mean, getting revenge on the people who kept her down here for so long that she's apparently forgotten her name, you know, that would be if there's any reason to blow up the world, I think being imprisoned down in a basement for however long, that might do it.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
I don't know how to destroy the world, if that's what you're getting at.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
So we can choose to either keep her down here, yeah, I mean, eventually that will just lead to this choice. We can either choose to leave her down here, try to retrieve the blade, go back up without saying a word, or, okay, I'm going to get you out of here. Don't make me regret this.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you, and you won't. I promise.
You're making a huge mistake. No. You're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut.
Ooh.
You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Ooh.
Is someone else here?
Hey!
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Sure seems like the narrator's contriving a situation here. Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Maybe letting her out was a bad idea, if she's just willing to do that.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Alright, the narrator is just straight up cheating.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
We can save her or slay her. This is the name of the game, but we'll save her.
Fine.
And look, our icon now has the blade, because we have it in our hand.
Against your better judgment, you
And
place
now
the
we
blade
continue
against
on.
the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
Ugh. Oh, I hate the stringiness of it.
Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
And you like the little touch with the blood on the blade in our cursor?
She didn't
Nice.
so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
Nope.
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground.
Well, okay. On the downsides, she took that way too well. On the plus side, if we need to slay her, we do have the dagger in our hands.
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
And so you can clearly see at this point that, I mean, yes, is this a game about trust or is it about risk? And the narrator is very blatantly trying to get us to kill her. But there is a bury to warn her option, so we're going to do that.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
We could again try to slay her, but we can resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
And you can see our hands, they're not human. What are we?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
Wait, hold on a second. There has to be a solution that doesn't involve you.
She plunges it into your chest,
Never mind.
tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
And she's doing it with her left hand too. Oh no. He's doing it with her probably less dominant hand.
I'm so sorry.
No.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake.
How are you going to get out of the cabin? Are you going to just bash through the door? Like, it's locked. How?
For her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
Nope.
Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark. And you die.
That's the end of the game. Nah, of course not. Chapter 2, The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. That is, we will continue this next time. This was, again, just a test to see that everything was working properly. I will be messing with the audio, trying to make sure that it all comes out nicely, but it seems like the recording is working fine. I did stream this game to Twitch before, but for whatever reason, I downloaded the VODs and they don't seem to be on the computer anymore. So I'm just re-uploading or redoing a playthrough of Slay the Princess, which is fine. I like this game, and it doesn't take too long to finish anyway. But for now, we'll save and we'll call it there. And yeah. Next time, we will go through an entirety of the damsel route, and then there is a new path on the damsel route in this Pristine Cut. So we will be going through that as well, because I actually haven't seen it. I just know that it exists. But that'll be it for now. And I hope that you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.